Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Command Deck podcast. And we are 7 people here right now, 7 mates, and very interesting people, very good friends, and very good leaders also. So we're gonna have an interesting day today. We're gonna have some information, some comments, some theory crafting, and I'm gonna introduce my mates here. First, we have Carlos, or Drum Carlos. Carlos with video also. So, welcome, Carlos.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Nice to be here with such a good company. Very big fan of most of the people here, except Kepler. But well, we do what we can, and all good. As Kepler said, I'm Drum Carlos. I'm part of a guild called Deep Profits, and I'm also one of the leaders of La República, which is the Hispanic branch. And well, I've been submerged in Star Atlas for the last 2.5 years. But I also like other space games. But I have to admit, the game I play the most is FIFA.
FIFA. Wow.
There,
Not very related to space.
as long as you have a
But
control in your hand.
yeah, but we like you anyway. Then we have Agent Solas. Hello, Solas. Welcome.
Hello, how are you doing, everybody? I'm Agent Solist. I'm from Club and Bulk. I run Vanguard Squadron. I currently am playing a lot of Sage, but I like the new game Helldivers. I also played some Eve and whatever I could play HOTUS with. So that's what I mostly like.
Awesome. Awesome. And then we have Grist. How are you, Grist? Welcome.
I'm doing good, brother. Welcome myself. My name is Grist. I'm from the Club Guild. I mean, right now, because of a whole exploit thing on Apex, I used to play Apex mostly, but I switched over to Showroom. They shipped an amazing, fun game, and I found myself standing in a stairway farming bots all day. Just kidding. I fly around. It's a great game.
Okay, awesome. And Yoganact, welcome. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Yoganaut, founder of Bulk. I've, like Agent Solus, I've been recently drawn to Helldivers. A little bit of Project Zomboid as well, outside of Star Atlas, of course, itself.
Nice. Then we have PG. How are you, PG? Welcome to.
I'm good, thanks. I'm PG. I play with the club, and at the moment I'm so busy building my own game that I only play Sage on my part time without the bots, and I'm building my own game. And in the future, maybe in 2-3 months, we're gonna all be playing in my own game.
Awesome. Your own game. That sounds great. And then we have some dude. How are you, some dude? Welcome.
I'm doing real good, brother. Thanks for asking. My name is Some Dude. I'm also a member of the club. I am pretty active in the Star Citizen and Star Atlas community, and you can find me on Twitter under SomeDude82SC. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Nice. And I know you also play Star Citizen.
Yeah, I'm a big spaceship guy. Give me all the spaceships.
Nice. Yeah, well, and I'm KeplerNet, and well, I'm in the club, and I'm also part of the Spanish community. So we see some Spanish mates saying hello, showing support in the chat. So I'm gonna just say hello for in Spanish to them. Hey, chicos, buena, bienvenidos y gracias por estar ahí siempre apoyando. Hoy tenemos el directo en inglés, ¿vale? Entonces mantenemos los martes en español y vamos a empezar estos podcasts en inglés, ¿vale? Los viernes hasta ahora. Y Eso, ahí tenemos a Carlos, que también parte de la comunidad hispana. Okay, so first thing, we already did the introduction of everybody here. That's something that, well, it's good for you to know who we are, but now to the relevant topics. Well, the Starbased release. We're going to have the Starbased release very soon on the 2nd, April the 2nd. So what do you think, Carlos, of this release? Especially we have the scanning mechanics and the SDUs and all that very, very different. They didn't say all the details about the mechanics, but they said very interesting information. What do you think about this new release?
I have mixed feelings because I'm extremely excited about Starbase and about the game to keep evolving. It's just I am having so much fun with labs. I am having the time of my life controlling my fleets and mining and refining, scanning, and especially selling, my favorite part of the loop. So with all the instability in Solana, I was hoping that we would have a little extra time on labs before changing the dynamic. I feel like this is gonna be a time that we'll remember as the golden time because everything was so easy. Now we start adding layers of complexity, which is also really exciting and really challenging. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying not to speculate too much about it, and I'm trying to patiently just wait for the second to move my chips there and start making stuff happen with the rest of the faction, especially with my friends around here and my other the other leaders in the mod empire.
Awesome. So about Starbased, I think everybody knows right now, but they posted the details that, well, what about the release? What about Starbased? What is coming on April 2nd? It's going to be the changes in the SDUs, of course, mechanics, in the SDU mechanics. Then we're going to have to get everything out of the current game labs, this current game idea, and we're going to have to put everything in the new kind of session or instance of the game with the new game ID. Okay, that means taking resources and ships out of one game and putting them into the other game. And then we also have faction fleet reduction of Atlas emissions. So the rewards, if you keep your fleets in score, are going to be reduced, are going to be like 67% almost reduced from what it was the original rewards. Okay, so after that, the SDU mechanics, which are the thing that are going to change the most, and then also in faction claims, the Armstrong ships, the miners, are not going to be supported any longer in faction claims. Okay, so we're going to have to use the miners, the Armstrong ships, in Starbased if we want to really profit from them, or have them in score with a reduced Atlas emissions until it's not supported anymore. So after all this, by the way, my mates here want to talk a lot, I know, but they are trying to not to step on each other's comments. But you can interrupt whenever you want.
Well,
So
can I talk about the score emissions for just a second?
Yeah, of course, that's the idea.
See, like man, I understand that we got to make progress, right? But I have my whole fleet is designed around combat. And so I don't have a bunch of mining ships and cargo haulers and stuff like that. I've got F4s and X5s, and so now I was going to leave everything in score until it made sense. But if I'm going to have to pay the same R4, but I'm only getting 33% of the emissions, it's just not going to be worth it. So now I got to hop in and mine with my F4, which, okay, yeah, that's fine. But it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I had hoped that we would have at least combat before they brought that away. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree that the score emissions are going to be so low because you still have to keep those ships running. So it's going to be very depending on the price of Atlas, which thank God right now it's in a good position. But I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed people that were used to getting those rewards without moving a finger, and now they have
free money is the best kind of money. I love free money.
And passive income, yeah. Passive income, that's the best for sure, because you can do whatever you want at the same time. But
at the same time, if you don't jump in now, if you aren't earning XP, that could have really negative impacts for you in the future. Like you could start way behind everyone else.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
And not only the XP of your character, but also the know-how, the what you learn from the game, and starting step by step instead of one day having to jump in and having combat and having territorial conquest. So all those things are going to change a lot, and yeah, I think it's better to go one step at a time. But it's also a big difference in the economy. So just right now, when we are going to have Starbased, just like, okay, it's the same, no combat yet, but having all the implications of the resources and the SDU mechanics and all that, it's like, at least from my perspective, it's changing everything else. I need to recalculate everything if I want to know which path to go, which way.
Have they given any details on how because they said the licenses are coming into effect, right? As part of Starbase.
You're gonna be
details on what that means?
No, not too many.
I can explain. So you're gonna play Starbase. You're gonna earn LP, but anything that you do in game, since mining, transporting, scanning, will give you XP. That XP is in the background, and that XP will give you license that you will know. I think you don't gonna know what they are, so they'll be in your background. In the future, they're gonna be released what you earn with that XP. So it's always good if you play. You go mine with the F4 or do whatever you do, but it's always good that you move, that you play. Don't be stopped in the map and watching other guys play.
Yeah, as far as I know, we're gonna have like the background, like we're gonna earn the XP and we're gonna have the licenses leveling up, but we're not gonna be able to use them for anything else, not yet at least. But we're gonna be leveling them up. So that's what I know, or what I remember right now.
It's like this first iteration might be different, but the way they originally described licenses is you were going to have to earn the right to have bigger ships, if that makes sense. So like they read it, at least the way it was originally described, was you were going to start with a license that allowed you to run like an X4, and then you were going to earn XP, and then like the higher your license got, the bigger your ships. But then they also said something like if you only own a capital ship, your license will be adjusted accordingly, or something like that.
Yeah, so they were trying to stop this pay to earn, like pay to win kind of stuff. So they were going to start out with, you have to upgrade these licenses, so everybody has to start with the same ship. I'm not sure, but it sounds like that's out the window now. I don't know if you guys know anything on that, but it sounds like that's completely scrapped.
I feel like half of that manual is gone out the window with all the progress during the last months.
But I'm also excited for the new game, but also not, because I'm excited to start working with everybody, because it is, a little more co-op now rather than Sage Labs just being kind of single player. At first, I hated Sage Labs, so I just kept my stuff. I kept my stuff in Score, and then Kepler showed me the Sly tool, which was amazing, because now it's kind of, even though you're not really doing much with the slide tool, it's still fun. And then I'm crafting, I'm seeing all this stuff, and I've been just stacking resources this whole time. And every time I craft, I have to have Atlas emissions, and the crafting fees are a little steep. So I saw my Atlas balance just getting drained. I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna finally sell. I'm gonna next 2 days, whatever my ships mine, I'm gonna sell. And I realized I've made like $200, over $200 within those 2 days. I was like, okay, I like this game. so so now I'm mining away, and I'm excited for the next version, but it's gonna be sad to see if my Atlas drops down a little bit, but still excited for one more step closer in the real game.
Yeah.
Any of you?
Yeah,
Any of
I'm
you?
sorry about that. Yeah, I was going to
No,
say
go
I'm
ahead.
excited about it, but I'm glad that Salah said that, because honestly, I try to get myself to get into it, but I just wanted combat. But I think it's key right now to actually start playing, and now this is probably going to be the impetus for me to actually dive in and really get into it. But I think it's good. That's the closer we get to combat and like that final vision, the better to me.
Yeah, in the end, the game was never supposed to be just like labs, of course. Even if we were kind of happy because after some time you learn how to play it, you know how to get the most profit or whatever, especially with the Sly Labs tool. But yeah, the game is supposed to evolve and be more like a proper game, for example, towards Unreal Engine and all the kind of Stellaris on a web game. But the thing is, yeah, we get used to some mechanics, some things, and right now, until they release it, and maybe even until the 16th, we're gonna be like in a period where we don't really know what to expect. So everything, the economy gets a little crazy, and it will need to adjust to get balanced again. And the thing is that for my strategy, usually, of course, it needs we need to get some information and some data to think what we can do and what we want to do. But right now it's like going blind after some things they said. For example, the SDU mechanics are going to change, but they didn't say exactly how. They said some things like uncapped global SDU limit per minute. Previously it was 2,000. Uncapped SDU limit per fleet. Previously it was 10. When you scanned, you could get 10 SDUs. That was the limit. The new fleet stat, this is a big thing. It says SDUs per scan scales similar to mining rates. It's going to be like similar to mining in some way, but we don't know if it's going to be exactly like mining. So I'm not sure about a lot of things.
Do you guys think that there's still going to be the tools like the lab assistant and stuff? Like, do we know anybody that works on that kind of stuff that we can ask if they're going to be ready to go?
Neo Fox from the Sly Guild, that is one of the persons that have been developing, ramifications from the original Sly bot that is that it was made by I'm Grooving. He said that it's not going to take them any time to do updates to integrate it into Starbase. The thing is that we're going to be limited by the bases that we upgrade and by the recipes that become available then. And elaborating on the point that we were just talking, I also hated labs when it came because at the beginning, of course, we jumped directly from escape velocity, that it was just moving in one ship and scanning, to this completely three faction map with mining, scanning, refining, storing, and transporting of resources. But at the beginning, it was difficult. There were some things that you wanted to do some actions and you had to go to so many different menus that it was really complicated. And then when I started to start using the slide bot, it's like I go promoted. Instead of being the slave just clicking, I became a manager of my fleets. And then I made a business surrounding that to expand my fleets and to increment my fleets. And now again, it's just this uncertainty that makes you wait. And so I'm excited, but yeah, it's difficult. It's hard.
That smile on your face when you said I got promoted, that we should capture that and make that a screenshot. He's like, I got promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it feels like that.
I think data runners, their value just went up 10 times right now with all the new changes they're making with the SDU scanning. But
You
yeah,
should have
you
bought
have
more than one of those OPUDs.
Yeah, I only have one OPOD only. You have any thoughts, Egonut?
Yeah, I think this marks it's another step towards Sage becoming a sandbox MMO proper. And the closer we get to that, the more excited I get. That's my favorite type of game.
Yeah, I think this is the evolution of the game. We need to understand that this is the first game that have all these mechanics in the blockchain. So they need to start with simple things, simple movement, simple transactions. We have our own marketplace. No game have that. And so far things are working. This game didn't have any hack so far. This next stage, I'm keen. I really love competition. I already asked a few times in Discord if you're gonna have leaderboard, because only earning LP and XP and changing and whatever from me is not enough. I need to see a leaderboard. I need to see that I'm better than Carlos. I need to see that I'm better than Klepter. So as a gamer, no, I'm not. But as a gamer, I need to see that the leaderboard for me is going to be another game changer. But this is going to be the first competition. If you guys realize, well, Search is coming tomorrow. That's going to be another competition too. But competition in the game is what make people addicted to the game. And more you're going to play, more you're going to be in competition with your friends, with the other factions, with the other guilds. That's going to create that instinct that you want to come tomorrow. You want to wake up tomorrow morning to play again and see how you're going to do better. And this game now, we need to control the time. I already talked also with Michael, because that 24 hours epoch, some people gonna, for me it's at midnight. I already saw it. For me it's gonna be at midnight, so I can be like, do you guys remember the golden tickets that we hold to the last minute if you're gonna put the golden tickets or not? So with the epoch, it's gonna be the same. You're gonna wait to the last minute to see if that epoch is gonna be good for you, or if there's a lots of people there. So lots of transactions is gonna be happening in the last minute. Some is gonna miss it, some is gonna put in the next epoch, but in the end it's gonna be average. So no worries about that.
That's bad.
But
for me. I
yeah,
like to sleep.
yeah, I hope that I said, Michael, don't put 24 hours, because then it's going to be always in the same hour. If you put 25th hours, it's going to change. It's going to rotate for different time zones. So in some point in time in the future, it's going to be to me at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. It's not going to be always at midnight.
That's what's interesting with me, like the epochs, and it sounds like you're gonna, even though there's no combat yet, it sounds like you're gonna have a 24-hour supply chain system going on for these bases to keep them up running. And there's a lot of guilds that aren't global. Luckily, the club is pretty global, and the whole 24-hour epoch. It's going to be interesting. And when combat comes, like I remember playing with Egonon and a couple other people from Bulk, IA, Deep, Club, and even Heim played with us for a Stellaris Galaxy Command, and we dominated that game because when the other guilds went to sleep, that's when we came out, and they had no defenses that night. They weren't a global guild, so it was pretty neat. So I'm really curious what's going to happen next. But
yeah, you said something very important. The alliances inside of a faction, just to say it in one way. But we have, by the way, Jorge Carrao, who said, "What is your opinion regarding factions?" And that altogether brings the topic of what is Mod Empire. So, Johanna, can you tell us what is Mod Empire and what about
Absolutely.
the factions?
So, starting off super high level, the factions in Star Atlas are 3 NPC lore-based teams or entities that the game is designed to break the player base into 3 parts so that we can do fun things, right? The Mud faction. Well, in June 2022, it's been over 18 months now, Mud guilds got together and formalized collaboration in a new Discord server. There we have been discussing the future of the Mud faction itself, the decks that are involved, to work together and see the faction thrive. It was decided at that time to keep the faction, that server rather, private, and knowledge of its existence fairly limited. However, earlier this year, to your point, Mud DAC leaders voted to unveil the server and declare it as the Mud Empire, so that we are a group of guilds not claiming the name of the NPC faction itself, but some other name, right, for our player group. So all players who are looking to support the Mud faction are welcome to join that server. I will post it here in the chat momentarily. If you happen to be guildless, there is a server billboard. There's a billboard of Discord servers in the Mud Empire server, which every Mud guild that is there currently has a little bit of a bio there and their Discord server link so that you can shop around and pick one that works for you if you're guildless and looking to get involved in the Mud Empire. And I think, as we alluded to earlier, the very first faction PvP event is tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1800 UTC. If you are interested in fighting for Mud tomorrow afternoon, you are welcome to join the server, and there will be a voice channel there to help coordinate some of our actions.
So, Egonaut, what you're saying is this is almost this faction alliance, Mud cooperation. That's almost 2 years old.
It is this summer. It'll be 2 years. Yep.
So that was before the Oni and Nexus forming up. And
very astute. Yes.
Yes, and it's interesting because they always said, oh, Mud's lagging behind, but they didn't know about this, and you kept it a secret. So that's pretty cool to keep it secretive with all these guilds involved, and no one knew. So that's really cool. I know most of us are Mud up here. We still have Grist and PG who are Oni, but they're good dudes.
Nobody's perfect.
We'll be Mud tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm Mud.
Yep. The club is all playing Mud tomorrow. So we'll see. We want to play together, so we all decided we could play for Mud tomorrow.
And that play tomorrow is supported by Multigravity and will have capacity for up to 2,000 players in the same instance, which is not normal in the gaming industry. So that's something very important to highlight here. Hopefully it goes well.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and by the way, last time Sorry, you were going to say
I was
something?
going to say, before we move on, I really wanted to know why the Titan ship being in one thing skewed it. Because I didn't really understand that we were talking about that before. So can you explain why having the Titan ship on your side might actually be a negative right now?
Who wants to answer that?
I mean,
That's easy.
well,
The way, yeah,
Let's
go
let's
ahead.
let the Oni talk. Go ahead, PG.
well, it's only a question of mathematics. If you have a bigger ship like that one, that's gonna produce and trade LPs like I don't know how many times more than you, is gonna eat one of the percentage that should be for a normal faction, right? So from the 1.5 million atlas a day, man, I don't say 50%, but he gonna have at least 33% of that share, almost guaranteed. So if you are a small fish and you are in the same faction of a Titan one, Titan ship, not a T1 but a Titan ship, you need to compete with that. You need to. Well, I still don't know how he gonna play. I don't because you can accumulate LP. I think the LP in the future gonna have another utility. So I don't know.
Just to elaborate a little bit for those that don't understand the whole thing, it's a map divided in 3 sections for the 3 factions. And each section is going to have a specific amount of atlas or rewards per
1.5
epoch.
million.
The same amount for each faction. And depending on how much you contribute to that, to the activities, you get a portion of that LP. Having the biggest ship by far, a Titan ship, being a player there in your faction is going to steal from you a lot of LPs that would otherwise be going, to be distributed. So that's why most people don't want to have that one Titan ship in their side, unless there were 3 Titan ships, and then each faction had one.
Yeah, so you're gonna get 1.5 million per faction per 24-hour epoch. So, if you're a new player coming in, there's a lot of big Oni guilds, and also possibly 2 Titans in Oni. So if you're a Oni player, you're still gonna. I still think there's not that too many active players. You're still gonna get a decent amount of Atlas. But if you wanted to maximize, I would really think Ooster and Mud is where it's at. If you wanted to extract some value, it's not all about extracting value. You do want to play the game with your friends and all that, but you do need to make some money, make some of your investment back. But yeah, is there any questions in the chat?
No, not yet. Not too many. Not so far. But I wanted to say about it that for me it's like it's obviously good on one side to have big ships. It's obvious, but that's when we have combat. When we have no combat, there is no benefit yet to have that big ship on your side. Obviously, this bad thing about having the Titan eating up all, not all, but a big part of the rewards of your faction, that's gonna be there right now, and it's gonna be there also when combat is here, because LP and LP rewards are gonna be behaving the same way, working the same way. So it's something to have in mind. And yeah, for any new people wanting to just more information, just to join any faction or any guild, you can of course ask us now or ask through the Discord. You can ask in the Mod Empire Discord, or you can also join. We have here Bulk, the club, Deep Profits. So you can just join us there. You can ask in Mod Empire or whatever you want, and we can we can just comment right now. Let me check. Okay, look, we have to say something about the Surge test tomorrow. How do we get into Surge tomorrow? So Surge is going to be in Unreal Engine 5. So you need to download the game from Epic Store, and you need a code. If you don't get the code, you can't really download and install and play the game.
Let us know
And
if you need a code. I'll drop a couple in the chat if you need a code. Go ahead, Kepler.
no, it's better, even better if they join Mod Empire Discord. So Yoganact, if you have the link, or anybody else who has the link, please post it on the chat, so they can join, and then they can ask for the code there. It's gonna be easier instead of posting it there and maybe someone else taking it before the people who wants to ask the question. So yeah, big man, if you want to join the Mod Empire Discord, for example, if you're mod, if you're Oni, just tell us now. We can also share a code with you. But if you're mod and want to join, it's I think it's better to ask for it in the Discord, and that way you can also talk to us and we can play together maybe tomorrow. So
no matter your faction, just come and ask. We will give you a code, or the Star Atlas team will give you a code in the main Star Atlas
sure.
Discord. Doesn't matter your faction. We are all friends here. We're all part of the same movement.
Yeah,
so you're all
for
welcome.
sure. Yeah, for sure. We also have 2 Onis here, so no problem. And then we are also multi-faction in some of us in our guilds, so no problem.
Does someone want to talk about the rules tomorrow?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Do you
Shoot
remember the
everything
rules?
that is not mud.
Actually, I don't know if I don't know if that's actually public. Actually, never mind. Disregard. I don't know.
No, but I have the announcement here. So let me just see the public information. Okay, a brand new game called Surge. Sorry, it's faction versus faction. It's gonna be third-person shooter combat game mode focused on bringing glory to your team. We're gonna eliminate or kill the opponents, and we're gonna get a tag. And the thing is that I think we can share this. We can't share the image or video, but we can share the information. I believe so. We're gonna get a kind of tag when we kill someone, and then you're gonna have to run to your territory or kind of special points on the map.
Extraction point.
Yeah, an extraction point, and you will get the reward for that tag or those tags. The thing is, when you go back to your extraction point, you can get killed, and if you get killed before reaching it, you don't get any rewards for that. But also, the other people, the guy who killed you, is gonna get those tags from you. Okay, so it's gonna be interesting because it's not only about going crazy killing other people. It's gonna be very important to manage how many tags do you want to get before running to the extraction point, and being good also in a defensive way, not only crazy attacking and getting a lot of kills.
There's also going to be a big mark on top of your head if you make too many kills. So the whole map is going to be after you if you don't deposit those tags quick. There's a mode in Call of Duty that is exactly the same.
So, but I don't know the mechanic. If it's that, like you said, I don't know if the tag's falling, and then maybe a player from your team can grab the tags that you had, or if it's like the Call of Duty that you need to catch them. It's not because you kill a person that have tags that those tags pass to you. I think those tags gonna stay there, like floating, and the first person that get the tags can put them in the.
Yeah, we will know in less than 24 hours.
Yeah. So, big man, if you have the game already, you just need to be there be there on time, and that's it.
And select the right mode.
Yeah, exactly. In the game, you're gonna see, you're gonna hit play, I think, and then you can just see a search game mode. So it's gonna be easy to find, or supposedly easy to find. So,
and I don't know if it's relevant, but there was an update posted on the store today. So if you haven't run your game in a while, you can download it today, I think, to get so you're ready to go for tomorrow.
yeah,
they have one update. It's true.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is like our first esports kind of event for Star Atlas, and that's going to be fun. Just to get guilds and factions to compete is going to just make time pass so much faster waiting for this real game to come out, and it's going to be fun to start doing some competitions and stuff like that. I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, but tomorrow is still a test server. So let's see if everything goes well. That's the first one, and then if it goes well, then we start killing everyone. That's the point.
Yeah, by the way, Darth Maul was saying, I hope they do live and see how the madness breaks out, and I see it with my cell phone at work. I will be there, and I will be streaming it in the same channel as right now. Okay, Nebular TV on YouTube and Twitch, and I will try to do it in English and Spanish. So I'm gonna be there somehow in English and Spanish. I'll try to coordinate with my faction somehow too. I still have to see the details about it, but we'll do it. We'll do it. And
I can't understand when you're speaking Spanish, but I love the way it sounds, buddy.
Good luck with that, because that's not an easy job.
Yeah, well, it's cool to have. I like chatting with the people, you know, so communicating with the chat and interacting with people. So I like these live streams. I'm really waiting for that moment to come. I can't wait for the moment when I can really stream a lot of gameplay about Star Atlas and Unreal Engine 5 and all that. It's gonna be awesome. About the test, yeah, it's the first test with this kind of gameplay, but it's the second technical test. The first one we had around 150 or something like that people at the same time connected to the server, and they said it was less than 6% the load of the maximum capacity, the power of the server. So less than 6% having 150 people in the first test, for me, that's huge. And
promising.
Yeah, tomorrow, I don't know how many people we're gonna get at the same time, but it was previously scheduled for last week, and the event on Discord had more than 400 people saying interested. So I expect more than 200, something like that. Maybe more than 300. We'll see, or maybe a little less because it was for last weekend. now it's for this weekend, and we'll see. Maybe not everybody can make it, but it's gonna be really interesting to see how the server behaves. But we have to remember what PG said. It's a technical test. It's still a test. So they say 2,000 or 1,000 people, and then when we get 200 people, we say, oh, it was like not too many people. No, it's huge. Other servers, other games don't get so much, so many people in one game, in one instance, in one server, or at the same map at the same time in the same area. This is huge.
One of the things they had a problem with last time was they were using like some old emails or old Epic accounts, so people had weird names. So PG, did you have anything to say about that? Did you were you able to change your name or anything like that?
No, I changed my name today because I only had PG and I add the club. So tomorrow I can be identified as a club, and I think they already changed that. I think tomorrow we're gonna see the name that we have in the showroom.
All
the
right.
first technical test, my name was my computer name. So it was like
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
same here.
Power Edge 1492 or something like that. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, that happened.
As long as your
But-
name is not your seed, you're good.
Yeah.
It's my seed phrase.
Or any password. Yeah. Well,
Do you guys wanna-
did they fix it already?
I hope so.
I think some people were able to rechange their name. I'm not sure. Do you guys
There
want
was
to
a
move
way.
on to?
Go ahead. Yeah. Move on to.
Do you guys want to talk about the whole ship insurance discussion?
Yeah, I think we have
Mm,
just a few minutes if you
Go
want
ahead.
to.
Yeah, just a few quick topic. Go ahead, Chris.
real quick, my daughter's here, so she's screaming. That's what's going on. But my thing is insurance. Insurance is one thing. My biggest thing was I just hope that the core HRZ never changes and total loss is there. I know not everyone thinks that's going to be a good thing, but we have to try. That's all I'm saying. The whole idea of this game to me that lit a mind fire was risking everything and feeling that kind of competition. And if I know that no matter what I do, 6 months or a year later, I get my ship back, and only if I use a Gal ship, that's just going to feel weird. Plus, think of all the people in the future that play and never have a chance to own a Gal ship. That's just how I feel.
They can
Yeah,
buy
I
them
feel
from
like-
us.
Yeah, the making ships. Whoever makes a ship is never going to touch the high risk zone at all. They're not even going to bring that out there. So it's kind of little. But anybody have a counter topic?
I have a different perspective on insurance, that it's almost mandatory. And even in the high risk zones, and because I've never played a video game where you didn't have people cheating. So if you have this, we have this environment where everything has real world value, and there will be cheaters at some point. So how do you do total loss and account for the cheaters? Or do they have a plan on how they're going to completely have no cheating? Like, I just don't know how you get away with not having insurance.
That's a really big, huge point. And this also touches on how I don't even know what we're gonna do, man. Like, I don't know if you guys heard, but Apex had like a huge exploit cheating thing during a tournament, and I uninstalled the game and all this stuff. But I can't imagine. Usually in online games, there's always like 10% of people are cheating. So that's a good point. I don't know how that would feel like to lose, even if you get it back, just to lose because of a cheater.
Yeah, I think
I
Starters
think from
doesn't. They don't know the solution yet. They are going step by step, I think.
This
think
all
from
came
the
from a
point-
rant of Michael Wagner on Discord one night, where he came up with the idea of original Gao ships not being able to be destroyed, even though they would incur into a big penalty, which was that if you get destroyed, you may have to wait even months if it's a big ship, or pay big amounts of Atlas, almost worth the entire ship, to respawn it. But that was to keep the original buyers an advantage over the gamers in the future, because we basically funded the game. And
Over any
to be
over any
honest, I
crafted
wouldn't
ship.
mind. Huh?
Over any crafted ship, not only new players. Because if you are an old player, but you craft another ship, that would be the same thing.
Part of me would be happy if I get one of those kills, because I'm an OG player, so of course I would be one of the people with that advantage. But the truth is that once the guilds get to certain size and certain economic loops, they're going to be able to mass produce ships, and they're going to go into the high risk zone, and they're going to go into wars just like Empire of Eve, because people won't be paying from their wallets their chips. It's going to be made by the alliance with the alliance assets.
Yep, that's basically two. There's like two. There would be two different. I just don't understand why one type of ship can respawn and the other can't. And that was a great point, Carlos. Like, it just seems the whole thing just seemed weird to me. Why it's just Gal ships? Just looks like we are being given an unfair advantage, and like that's how a Web2 gamer would see it. You know, why are only these type of ships special and no one else, other ships aren't?
I'd second that in agreeing that if we do have any kind of insurance system, it should be applicable across the board rather than splitting the ships in half. I think there's too many, speaking of the platform, it's too easy of a YouTube video to make to talk about Star Atlas.
Insurance is coming, but I imagine it's going to be more a compensation than a respawn.
I only see the utility of insurance if you have a rental system and you need to insure your ship because somewhere else is going to drive it. After that, if you go to the high risk zone, is your problem. That's the game. They were very clear from the beginning. We have 3 zones, so no one can complain that we don't have space to play. And I think everyone is not treating the medium risk zone with respect. For me, the medium risk zone is going to be the most busy zone of all. I can see 85% of the players is going to be all in the medium risk zone for the 3 axes of the rewards and because it's going to have combat. So it's going to be very busy. So if people think, oh, I'm going to pass from the safe zone to the high risk zone and I'm going to try, it's going to be terrible. You're going to lose all the resources. You need to do the R4 like 3 or 4 times. So I'm going to give a simple example. A person that have a small ship in score, we are used to do the R4 each 48 hours. So okay, 48 hours is okay. We have our ship and we pay 2 kids and food for 48 hours. Now imagine paying that each half an hour, each 20 minutes, because everyone is going to have on the ship LP. The enemies is going to look at you, see LP, LP, LP is money. So everyone is going to be catching you in every time they can. So to pass from one zone to the other, man, I see lots of blood in that medium risk zone.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's gonna be the most busy. Sorry, go ahead, Solas.
Oh, I was gonna say I also see like a, you know, I see both. I'm not one way or the other. I see both points, but I do see some people taking advantage and like some dude said, cheating. Like, hey, come destroy. If I just have to wait like a 5-month timer, come destroy my ship and get some good money destroying my ship, and then I'll when it respawns, I'll destroy your ship or something for a little bit of money. So it has to be at least Atlas and time, I believe.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's kind of interesting, like the whole Eve Empires, Eve. You see a big ship go down. That's written in lore. Like the things we're going to be doing right now are going to be written in some kind of lore or Eve's Empire or anything like that. So that's something I kind of want to talk about maybe next podcast, like what we do right now. Is it going to be in Star Atlas history? But kind of just
Do you guys
interesting
think in
thoughts.
Star Atlas eventually is going to be like in part of Eve? Like all these big alliances, they lived in the high grade zone of Eve, and they mined that zone because it's profitable, and that's where the wars were because they were living and occupying those areas. Do you think that Star Atlas will get to that eventually? Because I have a feeling it will in a few years.
That's what I'm hoping for. Bring on that combat, baby. Let's go.
But 100%. I think we need a lot more players before that can happen. Of course.
I know what Egonot's a big Eve player. What do you think about that, Egonot?
That's the dream. That's the end goal. That's where all of this is heading. I think I agree with Carlos 100% on that.
Yeah. By the way, I see. Sorry, just a moment. Before we move to next thing about it, Icy said multi-account would rent the ship to you, to yourself, to your other account. In that case, if we had insurance only when there is a rental system, that's what you were saying, PG. So in my case, I
Yeah.
believe we need a rental system for every case, for every situation, just like you can just get it and then this can't happen anymore. I don't see a bad thing about getting the possibility to get an insurance. Just set the right price. So don't make it free. Like not only for being part of the first GAO, the first ships, the OG players. No, just make it available to everybody and just have it like a balanced system with the right price, you know. So now, PG, what do you think about that?
No, that was my point about the utility of the insurance. I like insurance only to myself, and I go. I don't like that plan. I think everyone should be responsible what they are doing, and that's the game where people sign up. Regarding the high risk zone, I didn't play Eve, so I cannot comment about Eve. But in Star Atlas, you're gonna have NPCs that's gonna kill you in the high risk zone. It's not only the other players. I don't know
Yeah.
if that happened in Eve, but in Star Atlas, in the high risk zone, you're gonna have the Tufas and you're gonna have other beans that Jose didn't explain well. Didn't want to explain yet, but it's gonna be hardcore. It's gonna be hardcore.
Yeah, that's my ultimate vision, and I think to me, insurance is different than a cooldown of an asset. So when this 2 years ago, when we were theory crafting, what made this game feel like it was going to be something else. It's just like in real life. You know, if you do something risky, part of that thrill is total loss. You know, the guy that climbs, Yosemite Mountains with nothing, he just climbs with his bare hands. One of the reasons why you watch that and you get sweaty palms is because you realize that person is literally risking their life to do that pursuit. A game can feel like, a lot of people, it's becomes like a second job. So to me, by having an area of the map where I know that if I'm playing and a player beats me, then I lose everything, that's thrilling. But some dude did point something out. It's not cheating like we're selling ourselves and getting money back from an insurance policy. It's more about there are companies that literally exist just to make cheat engines for online games. So if we get popular, of course we're going to have an engine owning, part. And it's really bad right now in Apex. If you play ranked, you're getting killed by cheaters like every single game. So when some dude mentioned that, I didn't really got to think about, it's going to suck anyway to lose anywhere to a cheater, but
If
to
you
lose
look
to a
at the
cheater in
Star Citizen
H4Z.
cheats that are available right now, so Star Citizen cheats have like where they uncap the speeds on your ship so that you can go 100 times faster than every other ship. Then they have ones where everything you fire hits. So I don't know like how the UE5 plays into the end product, but it might be different if most of the combat is on the web base. But if they are tracking it on the chain, like Icy said, maybe you could call fraud after the fact and get it picked up. But I don't know. It'd be, and I know that we're way far away from that. So I mean, they
Yeah.
might figure it out. Quantum computing might just completely get all that shit figured out.
Yeah,
But for right
they're
now,
playing in multiple worlds.
right now I'm saying you probably will have to have some kind of at least cheat protection, if not insurance.
I think we're gonna have some kind of the normal kind of cheat or anti-cheat systems, but the most important thing for me is the way Star Atlas always talk about it, about not only about cheating, but about different things regarding the mechanics. It's not like, for example, going against bots right now. Uh, you can't really try to fight confronting every bot or everything, every cheat. you better do good mechanics, good systems, good gameplay mechanics that incentivize some kind of gameplay and kind of stops some other kind of bad things, bad behaviors. It's not easy, but that's a thing that I like about Star Atlas, that point of view. I think it's gonna be way better in the end, because if you want to fight it, you're gonna be fighting it for eternity. You know, it's like police against against drugs or whatever. They're not stopping them. They always fight them. They have to keep them like, okay, I'm trying to stop you, but I never stop you for real. It can't be stopped completely. And the cheating is
minimized,
like that. Yeah. So I think it's better if you really make a game when you incentivize the good behaviors and good gameplay and all that, and make it more profitable to do things in a good way, and make it less profitable to do things in a bad way. And that way, the natural human behavior will go towards the most profitable, especially in an economic game like this one. So yeah, Solas was saying, any last questions or comments in the chat, and also from you before we wrap it up?
And while you get that, I just wanted to send a big shout to Atlas Grace and Archetype, who made the logo and who's been helping us and supporting us to start this broadcast. So big shout to you, man. We love you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So
Appreciate
fast, and it came out so cool. I
Thank
had no
you.
idea it was going to be that awesome. Thanks, bud.
It's amazing.
Talented guy, and such a good labor he's doing with Atal Grace. If you guys don't know what Atal Grace is, we'll post a link. It's an amazing initiative by Archetype helping people in Asia. It's amazing.
Yeah, you can search for Atlas Grace on Twitter, and that's amazing. If you have the link, yeah, you can post it on the chat, and also in the comments later on the YouTube video that will stay there, so we can just post the link there. And any other questions or comments that you can have you guys in the chat, you can also comment after we end this live stream. So we will be trying to respond to the comments. And any other comments before we wrap it up?
Don't forget to follow the podcast on Twitter. It's at Command Deck SA.
Awesome. Yeah, so give it a like, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Twitter account, and you can also follow on Twitch if you want to stay with us for other episodes. The next episode that will be coming, we'll try to do it mostly every week at the same time, the same day. It's going to be mostly like that, unless we have a specific problem or whatever. So you can stay tuned for that, but also better if you subscribe and follow Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and click the bell so it will tell you when we are live. And don't forget to join the Mod Empire Discord if you want to join and just chat, ask questions, whatever, to coordinate tomorrow for the gameplay. So we are here and we are there, so you can join us.
Especially tomorrow, because I'm going to be hunting you guys down.
Tomorrow we're gonna have a lot of fun, and it's gonna be a huge milestone for Star Atlas for sure. And we will see something. I believe we're gonna see something very, very good for us too, when we see maybe 200 people playing a shooter like that in one of the first tests for Star Atlas gameplay. It's gonna be huge. So, okay.
Emotional damage.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being here, and all of you.
Thank you.
Carlos, PG, Yoganak, Chris, Solas, some dude.
Bye.
See everybody tomorrow.
Excellent.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
See you all tomorrow, guys.
And thank you guys in the chat for being there today, and hope you are here with us next time also. So see you next time. Thanks a lot.